Episode 82 of the A-League podcast. They just threw me on the hostess. I wasn't expecting this walking in here, but we got Jeremy in the building. We got David in the building. Akeem is on the way. He is driving all the way from Canada. So Akeem will be here in a second. Fellas, how y'all doing?
I'm good, man. How you doing?
I'm doing well, man. I'm doing well. I wasn't expecting this, so we're still trying to wake up a little bit, but we good. We good. David, how you feeling?
Pretty good, man. Came prepared, man. This weather. It's no good.
Right. So we were gonna start off with the MLB All-Star Week and everything, but I thought it'd be interesting to switch it up a little bit on the spot. This is what you do when you throw me on the spot and let me hold. So if y'all didn't know, for the people who might be new to the podcast or new to the show or anything like that, when we first started, the very first episode was around this time in 2016. In the first episode, we really, we're trying to get the chemistry going. We had a group chat going for a couple weeks beforehand, but we still didn't know how it was going to work in the studio. We all were kind of taking turns. It's much different than it is now. So, Dwight Howard just signed with the Hawks. And we talked about that, and Tim Duncan just retired, and we talked about that. So those were the two main things, and in it, we talked about Dennis being the starting point guard for the Atlanta Hawks. So now, I'm gonna give a little moment of silence, and I'm gonna give an opportunity to do a little extra editing today, and put in some of the things that these guys said about Dennis Schroder.
As far as him and Schroder, how does that work? I mean, we know Schroder's first year. What do y'all think about him and transitioning to being a starter?
I can see Schroder. I've been saying it for years that he has more upside than Teague. I've always felt he was as good as Teague, especially over the last 2 years. I mean, his jump shot wasn't as good as Schroder, but as Teague.
Yeah.
But as far as his upside, I think he has the potential to be a Rajon Rondo type point guard or a guy who can average 14 and maybe 8 or 9 assists.
I like the move. Atlanta finally got a point guard that would drive in the paint hard every play, just like the Russell Westbrooks and Eric Bledsoes.
So, because we know that Bud system's so similar to Pop's. And so the fact that what made Pop's system so great was Tony Parker. Like David just said, you need somebody that's going to consistently penetrate. Like, it opens up everything. Like Jeremy's saying is the fact I think this year, we do have a lack of shooters, obviously. But that would mean that Schroder would just have to be more efficient. That's on him to be more efficient and get more of a mid-range type of, arsenal to his game, because he doesn't really have that yet. So I think everybody gets on his three-point shooting, and I understand that his two-point even shooting is not it's not terribly bad, but you do want it to be a little bit more consistent. But that's going to be the main area I'll be looking for him to take a leap in, just what type of scoring, but.
Back in the days, it was really just all about the big men. Now all of a sudden everybody's going small, like Rashad said. I mean, there really aren't that many, great big men that come in the league. So, you get that point guard, that will, be sort of like what David was talking about, like a Russell Westbrook or an Eric Bledsoe, then absolutely.
Yeah.
But do you really want Dennis Schroder as your point guard? That's the question.
Here it comes. Here it is.
Because Dennis Schroder can be stupid. That joker is stupid. He made some stupid mistakes. And it's every single night, this joker just throw the ball away. He's like Josh Smith in the point guard body.
Oh shoot.
God.
He's a little better. I mean, but
do you not attribute that to just age? I mean, I get it. He's coming off the bench.
he is pretty young, but we said the same thing with Josh Smith.
We did.
It's like, oh, wait till he gets older. He's only 17. He's only 18. He's only 19. He's only 26. All right, folks. So if you heard that, you heard how crazy these claims were about Dennis, and Dennis is the future. It's the right move for Atlanta. He's an aggressive point guard. He's competitive. He gets after it. I'd rather have him than Teague all day. He has awareness of the shot clock. Shot clock awareness don't mean nothing. If you win in 10 games a year.
Oh man.
So, I mean, how y'all feel about what y'all had to say? Y'all very, very cold takes about Dennis Schroder.
I mean, to be honest, he looked good out the bench, like those past couple of years before he started. And, I saw the potential, it was his age and, looked good out the bench. And he was different than Teague. I was tired of Teague. And, it was just, for that offense, Bud's scheme, you're just as good as your point guard is. And he... Yeah,
because Teague only led him to 60 wins as a starting point guard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know Teague led. I mean, that's more like Korver right there.
I'm with David. I was just tired of Teague. I had Teague fatigue, but I'm not giving him credit for that 60-win season because Dennis was a part of it also, even though he was coming out the bench.
I mean, I was gonna say it's Korver. It was a team.
It
effort.
was a team effort.
Yeah, that was
Damari Carroll.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you put that same Hawks team back together, they probably win 60 games again. So, today.
Not today.
Yeah, today.
Not today.
Today.
Yeah,
Kyle Korver had the best year of his life that year.
The reason he had that year is because of the players that were around him.
Yeah, like
he was old then.
Even that's the thing with that team. Like even when Korver had some off nights, and you had Carroll and Perro hitting random threes. I'm like, what the world is this? And just. Millsap hit a three. It was so
Mike Scott
perfect. It was the perfect storm, man.
Yeah, it was like this built perfectly. It was just they playoffs. It was a whole different game.
Yeah,
Mike Scott's
reality
dunks are the most thing that I remember most from that season.
Yeah,
from those winning streaks.
He randomly would just have these poster dunks on people out of nowhere.
Just like
where did that come from?
A lot of times he'd be out in open court and the whole place get up. We were like at 15 wins in a row. I remember it was against Philly and it was against Portland. It was crazy. Like same week. It was sold out every single night of that winning. That was crazy. That would never happen again.
In the playoffs, he was hitting floaters and stuff. He was trying to shoot floaters.
And Trae Young is going to be cute and, superstar, what I'm saying, all the attention on us. But it's not like the underdog coming out of nowhere in Atlanta where no one liked the Hawks. And then all of a sudden they come together and just have this crazy month.
Yeah, that team was literally like leftovers.
Right.
Like,
leftovers from Utah.
Yeah.
When the Hawks built that team, I kind of thought, they were trying to tank at that time because I was just like, okay, they just signed Kyle Korver. They'll probably trade him in midseason. Oh, they brought in Paul Millsap. Yeah, they'll probably trade him midseason. Yeah, I thought they were doing what
they came in with
now.
Devin Harris.
Right.
Yeah,
so that was just kind of like a team they just threw together and it just happened to work.
Yeah, because I just remember Barry came in and I remember Josh said he wants some more shooters, so they did the Joe trade, and I was like, okay, Korver, he's all right in Chicago. He wasn't that shooting guard that Chicago needed, and I was like, okay, Chicago just threw him away for
a lot of people thought his career was over.
Yeah,
and he left Chicago.
The crazy part, I got a question. Why didn't Utah win any more games than they did? Because 3 of them boys from the starting lineup came from Utah.
Yep.
Damari Carroll, Kyle Korver, and Paul Millsap.
Yep.
Yeah, good farm team.
Millsap was pretty good.
And they had Darren Williams when those guys were there.
Right, and Carlos Boozer.
So I don't know how Utah didn't come away with a championship.
And Karolinko was still pretty
good. And
the Lakers, I guess they ran to the Lakers and Spurs.
I mean, but they still didn't win 60 games. They won like 55, 57.
And they had a Hall of Fame coach.
But
Jerry Sloan's going to be in the Hall of Fame.
That age-old excuse, they were in the West.
Yeah, I mean, that was the legit West, unlike now.
Well, when the AC was Denver and they had 50 wins with Allen Iverson and Carmelo Anthony, that was the craziest year, I think, in the West, period. Like, the West they talk about now,
09.
That was like, 09, maybe 08.
08, maybe.
08 at the earliest.
Yeah.
I'm trying to not get mixed up with the Chauncey team. I'm trying to.
No, this was an Iverson team that won 50 games and was the AC.
Did Chauncey come after
the
AI or before?
Yeah, because he was traded for AI.
For AI, okay, cool.
AI went to Detroit, and then he went to Memphis.
Yeah.
And then he went back to Philly and retired.
Yeah, these people still act like the West is like juggernauts.
It's top heavy.
But getting back to your original question,
right?
How much does Dennis kind of impact OKC? Because personally, I mean, I don't think everything we said about Dennis in that original episode was wrong. I feel like, he lived up to some of that. He averaged 19 points a game. I mean, That's more than Teague ever averaged. So, I mean, if we just looking at stats and numbers, yeah, he had a successful time in Atlanta, but it wasn't really his play that was what bothered me. It was that he didn't make anyone else better. You know, he never really developed into that leader in the locker room or on the court, and he just he was okay with just, you know. He wasn't okay with losing. I mean, I could tell losing bothered him, but he wasn't I'm trying to think of a way to say this.
I was expecting German Rondo, like they hyped him up to be.
Yeah, he's nothing like Rondo at all.
Yeah, it's just, he just, you know, because T was real passive, and I was like, okay, then it's gonna be real aggressive. You know, just like he wasn't even like that. He wasn't even like Tony Parker type aggressive either.
No.
And just, you know, for me, it was just like, you know, he was just better as a backup and like for Atlanta system, but you know, Atlanta didn't have the team that would work best for him. Like I don't know what is the perfect team for him, but you know, like Teague Teague did a good job of setting up the offense and stuff, and Dennis, he was more of a scorer and
energizer guy off the bench.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know, like, did he need like a team like where he got like an all NBA first team defense to cover up?
He ain't gonna like OKC.
No. Where does
I think he's more happy to go to a winning team with superstars where he feel like they can do some damage more so than his own career.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how that's really gonna work. I mean, is he gonna be okay coming off the bench? Because he kind of falls back into that role he had.
And Westbrook played 42 minutes a game.
Yeah, so
darn near.
I mean, they'll have to play together. I mean, but can Dennis play off the ball? Because I don't see Westbrook playing off the ball.
That's another thing. Them playing together in the backcourt. Paul George plays another 38 minutes.
Exactly. So where does he get his minutes?
So you gonna push Paul George to the 3, and you gonna sit down Roberson?
Yeah, he is a 3.
Well, yeah. You think he's a full-time 3 still?
Yeah, he's full-time 3.
But then they moved him to 2 last year.
Yeah, because
with Melo and Roberson.
Yeah, Roberson got hurt. But
I mean, will Roberson be back this year? Will he be back to? I mean, I know it's an Achilles injury, and that's something that's really hard to come back from. So, I mean, if he comes back, he's not going to be ready to play 30, 40. I mean, 25, 30 minutes like he was last year. That's not what he's
also let me settle this. I saw Keith Smith tweet last night.
Keith.
For the record, yes, I'm saying Mike Muscala's better than Nerlens Noel. Stop feeding off the draft hype from 4 or 5 years ago. I was like, what? That's how you know these folks don't watch the Hawks.
Oh my God!
You watch Mike Muscala play?
I mean,
Moose is my dude. He's a nice guy. He's a great guy.
I mean, Nerlens, you know, I cake from my Kentucky guys, but he wasn't like the hype that everybody thought he was going to be.
I mean, he's not.
Have you seen Mike Muscala play? Is my question.
Oh yeah, I was a season ticket holder.
Jeez,
it's one thing to be a fan favorite, but it's another thing to actually have NBA.
I mean,
reputation. Like, if you ask players around the NBA who you would pick, I'm pretty sure they would say Nerlens Noel. And it's not because of draft hype. It's because he's a shot blocker, and he's always been a shot blocker.
I mean, like, he had that good year in Philly, and it's just a bad situation there. It's just like the Dallas situation was just awful. And so I don't know if they're going to get Philly Noel or they're going to get Dallas Noel. So I really don't know. But
I mean, he was coming off an injury last year, right?
Wasn't
that last year when he was hurt? Or was it the year before?
Yeah, he got hurt. He got hurt last year, but he had some stuff going on that, you know, on and off the court that, you know, affected his performance.
Muscala pick and pop, get the ball, fumble it at the 3-point line, pick it back up, and then end up making a turnover somehow.
Well, yeah,
somewhere.
Is Muscala even a guy? No disrespect to Mike. I love what he brought for Atlanta, but
he's a great. I thought he's gonna be the Udonis Haslem of Atlanta.
Yeah, I mean he's a great character guy, and he's done everything Atlanta has asked of him, and he was only a 2nd round pick. So, right. I mean, is he really
kind of overachieved?
Yeah, he's really overachieved, but is he really a guy that you're gonna see on a team playing a key role when they're winning championships?
I mean, you gotta fill that Ersan role. So I mean, I don't expect him to be able to.
Ersan is way better than Mike Muscala.
Ersan was averaging 15, 16 points a game,
and Ersan not even that good.
No. Philly, you know, they having a hard time keeping their talent. I mean, like, he'll fill his role, but you know.
Yo, what about Kyle Korver and JJ Redick on the same team? That's crazy.
5 years ago, that'd been even crazy.
They trying to cover up Ben Simmons that much.
Yeah,
they got to get 2 of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time on the same team.
This was a bad offseason for Philly.
Yeah.
It was.
Like they got worse to me.
They
did.
needed someone, and they lost Marco and Ersan, which was kind of the only reason why they kicked it up so much towards the end of the
People
regular
don't want to
season.
admit that. They want to give it all to Simmons and Embiid. But
No, that was Ersan and the Atlanta boys.
they need those role players and
And
those
now,
scorers.
so now they brought in another guy from Atlanta.
Yeah, and then they got Wilson Chandler, but can't count him to stay healthy.
Oh, they got Wilson Chandler?
Yeah.
Bro.
Salary dump.
Yeah.
He kind of like just disappeared 3 years ago.
Yeah, he just can't stay healthy. It's just I always get hurt.
I'll tell y'all about the time I was watching MTV. I think it was after someone got killed, some black person. And this was when like Black Lives Matter was really heavy. And MTV had this like town hall meeting with Charlemagne hosting it.
Oh man.
They had Wilson Chandler calling him for a phone interview. And in the middle of the interview, he was like, yeah, I know people don't want to hear me. They want to hear like LeBron or something like that. And Charlemagne starts cracking up live on there, bro. And he was like, I can't believe you said that, man. Because, they said, we're going to bring in Wilson Chandler. I'm like, Wilson Chandler? And it was just funny.
That's how Philly fans feel right now.
That's
we
the best
were
one.
expecting Kawhi or Paul George, and we got Wilson.
Yeah, they
Have Philly fans become the new Laker fans?
Yep.
I don't know. I think this offseason's definitely been kind of humbling to them.
Yeah.
Lakers been doing it for about 10 years.
Yeah, I
so.
mean, like
we getting DeMar DeRozan.
But when are we gonna start holding them accountable for their? I mean, they had this cute nickname all this time.
Trust the process.
Yeah, trust the process. Okay, it's cool, but like, has their process really worked? I mean, they got two good players out of what? How many years
got
of
you to
tanking?
the second round.
Yeah, I mean that's cool,
Well,
but
it was 5 years. It's not that bad.
I mean, how many players have they missed on?
3 years.
Orlando been bad that long.
Yeah.
They just been bad, but they've been trying to be good.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like,
Philly,
That's sad.
Oh, yeah,
they
yeah,
tried.
yeah.
They were trying.
I mean, Philly was just 3 years.
Orlando is really the people we need to be criticizing.
Wait, no, so Philly's only been tanking for 3 years.
Yeah, wait. Hinkie,
20
Hinkie was on there for 3 years.
2012,
I mean, but before him, they got
2012 they made the playoffs with Iguodala.
Yeah.
and they beat
And then they got rid of him in 2013.
Yeah,
Sent
they
him
did.
to Denver. Then Iguodala went to
It felt like
Golden State
longer.
in 2014.
It really
Yeah.
felt like longer than that.
Yeah,
It did. But Iguodala was only in Denver for 1 year.
Yeah.
So, all right, 2012, they made the playoffs. Iguodala, that was his last year. 13, 14, 15. Drafted Embiid in 14. Drafted Simmons in 16.
Noel 13.
Oh, he drafted in 13?
Yeah, Noel came out 13.
But he sat out his
No,
whole
no,
first year.
I said Embiid, not Noel.
That was when Noel came first.
Yeah. No,
Where-
mean, I was only saying the people who actually worked out.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's just hard to be drafting that high and only have
Yeah,
two good players to show
it's
for
just,
it. Markelle Fultz is not good.
Yeah,
I said this last year.
He had a triple-double.
Yeah,
Markelle Fultz
When?
at the end of the season.
Oh, good for him. That don't mean nothing. That means nothing to me.
I mean, that whole situation situation's a mess too. That's like after that stuff leaked out, the whole Colangelo thing, talking about the dude changing his jump shot, and I was just like,
Why would you leak that about your first pick that you traded up to get when you could have had Jason Tatum?
Why would you create a burner account to get it? Why don't you just have a diary? Just write.
Yes, people,
just
write it out.
People in their
You know what I'm saying?
people in their egos. I'm like, you really want someone to feel good about your moves. Because I thought when Colangelo came, I never liked him. I watched him in Toronto. He wasted Chris Bosh's prime.
Yeah.
I mean, but he was using the burner account to criticize his player. That's the problem I have. Like, defending yourself on a burner account, okay, self-esteem issues, you're a millionaire and people are coming at you online. It's going to hurt your ego, I guess. I'm not a millionaire, so I don't have that ego. But, the other part about just criticizing your own players, why don't you just
Tell them to their face.
I mean, it's 2018. Like, people are going to be able to track this down eventually. So, I mean, like, just
that's
get a
like-
diary, write it down, Scream in the mirror, cry into your pillow.
Yeah, that's why he's not a GM. I was like, I told people, I was like, do not trust this guy. Like all he's good at is just getting European players.
But didn't he rejuvenate Team USA?
I mean, his dad was Jerry Colangelo.
Yeah.
So,
Jerry Colangelo.
Yeah, Jerry Colangelo.
I
did
always
that.
get them dudes mixed up, man.
Yeah, I was, yeah.
And I'm not
Jerry
even giving Jerry that kind of it's just the fact that NBA players actually thought it was cool to play for Team USA again. Is what changed.
the Paul George thing. Everybody's like, okay, we can play again. We're not scared
No,
anymore.
but it was a 08.
No, it was
Because they
before.
changed it when 04 happened, that was the bottom point.
Yeah, Larry Brown over here wanted to be favoring all these vets.
I mean, they didn't change anything. It was just that
It put
NBA
pride back into it. Like, they
Right.
cared again.
NBA players didn't care to go over it no more.
Yeah. 04 was like, they just thought they were going to win because they USA.
Yeah.
And then they said, nope, you got to actually, like, prepare for this.
I mean, it was just weird,
06,
'cause,
they took over. It was Colangelo and Coach K, and then they rebuilt the whole thing from 06 on.
It was just weird. I think it was like Richard Jefferson was getting more minutes than LeBron with Larry Brown in charge of Team USA. And then
I was 9 years old.
I
don't remember that.
Yeah, LeBron barely played.
Yeah. I know LeBron barely played, and so did the rookies.
Yeah.
Melo and Wade.
And they got that bronze medal, and everybody like, U.S. gets the gold, and then things changed.
Yeah, but that was Colangelo and Coach K that did that.
Yeah.
They brought in that culture shift. How do you think it's going to be with, speaking of trades in the NBA a little bit, Pop and Kawhi this summer?
I mean, I'm glad it's finally over with. It was just like become a.
No, it's not over with. It's just getting started.
I mean, just the trade. I'm glad it finally happened because it was just like everybody's just like, I'm seeing stuff like, they keep waiting long. They're gonna have to take, trash for Kawhi. With the Lakers, he'll give it to him at a deadline for like literally free because go ahead and take Luol Deng for him. I'm just like, they were just over here like, we're not gonna give up Ingram. We're not gonna give up Josh Hart now. We're not gonna give up Kuzma, and I just got tired of seeing it because everybody just like, every day it was like a different take. They're like, oh, we heard Kawhi's trying to hide from, when he was in China, he's trying to hide from Pop. And, it's just like, where all this stuff just coming from? We had like revisionist history about everything. Like, just like last year, the Spurs was like here. And now they're like, here's what really happened. And it was just like, just like a soap opera every day. But I'm just glad it's over with because,
it's just getting started.
Because it's just like, they're like, oh, Vegas say he's going to Toronto, but he might go to Philly. Pop ain't going to send nobody in the West. He ain't going to help the Lakers. Just like everybody's like talking like these expert opinions and stuff, like Pop actually told him stuff and like actually did something before, and it's just like, nobody knows nothing. And everybody just having all these expert opinions. And I was just like, okay, well, this trade is over with, and I can finally move forward.
I don't have.
Wait, first, before you go, Jeremy, how do you feel about the reunion in 2 weeks? Team USA.
Oh,
that's what that was the original question.
Kawhi probably won't play.
Yeah, he probably won't play. I mean, he probably ain't gonna show up.
He said he was gonna play.
I mean, people change.
Yeah,
people change.
I got a couple problems with this. I mean, I don't care that he got traded. First of all, I want people to start and put this in perspective. It's right place for where Kawhi is on the list of great NBA players. Okay,
he's top 5.
He's top 5, but most of that is aided because he plays for the San Antonio Spurs. Let's be honest. Like, if you take Kawhi Leonard off the San Antonio Spurs and place him in the middle of nowhere, Indiana, is he Victor Oladipo? No, he's not. He's an above average player off his own individual talent without the Spurs system. That's number one. Let's not act like LeBron James just went to Toronto.
Yeah, okay.
Because I've seen people.
I can agree with that.
I've seen people start to say, now Toronto's the favorite. No, they're not. They just got rid of DeMar DeRozan to get Kawhi Leonard. That's subtraction. And Kawhi only about evens that up. So wherever they were last year is where they are this year.
I feel like Toronto has done a terrible job at management this offseason.
Yeah, I mean, but
getting rid of Dwayne Casey before you even know if LeBron's gonna stay or leave in the East.
Yeah, that was dumb.
Because I feel like they could have tried one more year with Casey and DeRozan without LeBron in it.
But that's where I think they're headed with this. I think that they feel like this is them blowing their team up to me.
Right.
Like, people are saying they're going to win the East. I'm like, no, this is them saying they're giving up because getting Kawhi now and giving away DeRozan tells me, oh, they just want that cap space in the next couple years. So now at the deadline, they move Kawhi. Like, why would you keep Kawhi Leonard when you know he's not staying there?
I mean, just
you can look up next year and Toronto have Lonzo Ball, Brandon Ingram, all kind of assets, and you gonna be like, why did this happen? Because they went and
I
stole.
don't think the Lakers gonna do that.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna. Yeah,
the deadline because they already think that he coming there.
Yeah, they've been putting their foot down on
Paul
that.
George
about
was
that.
I don't think it's as clear as
because
people think
Kawhi
it is.
could go to the Clippers.
Exactly. That's my point.
He said he just want to be in LA. He
don't
don't
care
care playing
who.
for the Clippers.
And that's my problem with Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
Why are you out here telling people where you will and will not go? Be happy to be in the NBA.
Why don't you just do an interview?
Just come out and speak for yourself and clear all this stuff up. Don't have people talking for you and then be upset about how people are perceiving
you. Exactly.
If you got a problem with it, come out and talk because you're coming off as a big baby right now. I don't have a problem with players coming. I don't have a problem with players coming out and saying, "Hey, I don't want to be here. I really want a different situation." Cool. Do what you got to do because it's a business. But speak to it. Put your words with it.
But you know who doesn't get enough credit for that? He just got like killed for that.
Who that?
Dwight Howard.
Okay, how this? I'm
When
curious.
Orlando.
I mean-
Orlando. When Dwight Howard spoke out and said, obviously, this is where I wanted to be, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is why everybody knew it. So I felt like we outgrew so in Orlando. Blah blah blah. They had the awkward thing with Van Gundy that one time, but
I thought he wanted to be in Brooklyn.
Well, he said. I'm just saying that Dwight voiced out the fact that he didn't want to be on Orlando anymore.
I don't know. It's kind of the NBA is different now.
Yeah, it's different.
It's a lot different than it was then. Back then, you didn't step over your coach back then.
Right.
Like at the end of the day, you just respected your coach. And
Yeah,
he was very disrespectful and
To Van Gundy.
Yeah, and coaches had more. The league favorite coaches more now. The players have more power now. Just like
Because of LeBron.
Because of LeBron.
Because
Yeah.
LeBron's disrespect.
yeah, because
I don't know a coach that I don't know. If I was a coach and I was coaching the Cavaliers, I would feel pretty disrespected because LeBron's the coach. But going to the Lakers, I think Luke Walton has already prepared himself for that because they were teammates. So.
Yeah.
And then LeBron is the coach over Luke Walton because he's the first pick. Luke Walton was the last pick. First round. He said, "You know what this is."
You already know what this is, Luke. But I don't first. And then my last point was that
I want to see LeBron and LeVar go at it. Like someone set up like a debate channel, like a table.
He ain't gonna let that affect his brand.
I don't think LeVar is gonna say anything.
Cause LeVar gonna be like,
I think we've heard the last of
LeBron
LeVar
ain't
for a
letting
while.
Lonzo play enough.
I mean, he'll say stuff, but
It won't be as much as it was. You ain't gonna get him coming out. Oh, Lonzo need to be playing 85 minutes a game. He don't say that kind of stuff no more.
Yeah, like you got LeBron James. So like you got LeBron James, LeVar Ball. Who's media gonna gravitate towards?
LeVar Ball.
Yeah, so-
LeBron gonna get his naturally. He gonna get his spotlight.
Yeah. He's gonna win
LeVar Ball
championships.
gonna get the more. He gonna get the headlines.
I mean,
Still.
LA got all those different personalities, so it's like a beat writer's dream.
But the thing about LeVar is the lack of coverage from LeVar lately isn't even LeVar's fault. Oh well no. It's not the media's fault. Media just stopped covering LeVar Ball. It's LeVar Ball cutting off the media because he had a sour experience with them. Because remember after what happened? Oh, he said the thing about Luke Walton while they was in Lithuania. After that, he cut off ESPN altogether.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's really why we haven't heard from LeVar Ball like we usually have.
I don't know. It's all about winning now. So
Yeah.
I don't really
Winning
think,
what? What are you gonna win in LA?
I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna win anything this year, but in a year or two, that team's gonna look a lot different than what it is now. And then the fact that they have young guys that are going to get better. I mean, they're not that far off. Like, that's why I don't understand why they want Kawhi so badly, because Kawhi's not going to help them win a championship. If they have to get rid of all these young players to get Kawhi, then they might as well just keep the team they have.
Yeah, I was definitely the same attitude. I was just like, you need depth to beat Golden State.
Yeah, you're not beating Golden State with just Kawhi and LeBron and Lonzo Ball. That's not going to beat. That's not going to beat the Warriors.
I mean,
no
you
matter
beat the
what.
Portland Trailblazers in the first.
Exactly.
You beat Portland, but like you facing like the Rockets and the you're facing the Rockets and the Warriors, you're gonna need depth.
You know, McCollum did a podcast with Kevin Durant this week. And I only listened to like the first few seconds where they did like the teaser of the episode. And he was like, "Why you mad, man?" And he was like, "Because we got to play against y'all." And it's stuff like that. What is Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum going to do in the prime of their careers? Like, what can you do if you're stuck in a situation like Portland?
I mean, that GM is awful.
I mean, it's, even if their GM wasn't awful, like Rashad just said, I don't know what you do. But then you'll have people in 20 years saying, "Oh, Damian Lillard ain't that great because he never won a championship.
He only made so-and-so All-Star team."
How is it his fault?
I mean, dude couldn't even get out against New Orleans. So it's like, you know.
I mean, but
Oh,
how
they got swept. Yeah, that's bad.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I mean,
hey.
that. I mean, but he has one series. Like just 2 years ago, they beat the Rockets in the playoffs. So
No,
Have you had an episode since
like
DeMarcus Cousins signs with the Warriors?
No, we haven't.
For real? We've been going that long? That's crazy.
No,
Hey,
I thought it was like
A-League listeners, DeMarcus Cousins signed with the Warriors.
that was like
Might have
5 years
heard.
ago.
no, Damian Lillard hit a buzzer beater to put the Rockets out.
That was
the
like
playoffs.
Dwight's first
the
year.
playoffs.
That
Yeah.
was Dwight's first year in Houston.
In Houston, yeah.
That was like 13.
That was before they even had
That,
McCollum.
I was in Valdosta.
They still had
So
LaMarcus
that was
Aldridge,
2014 playoffs.
Yeah.
but still,
That's when the Hawks were playing the Pacers. That's the
Yeah.
AC.
as an AC, and it went 7.
They should have won that. Jump. That's crazy. That was the end of Roy Hibbert that next year.
Yeah, he never recovered.
Kyle Korver blocked them. Nothing was the same.
Yeah, that was the mythical Kyle Korver defense. I remember I used to, you know, that used to be a thing on Twitter and stuff, like Kyle Korver didn't play no defense. And I was like, oh.
I remember when, I think you said it. You were like, we were talking about some prospect, some young kid. And then I was like, he plays defense. And you was like, does he play defense or he play Kyle Korver defense?
Oh yeah, he's I mean, Korver's a good help defender and good team defender, but it's as far as like 1-on-1, if I need him to be on the ISO defense, playing defense, I'm like, nah, I would not have to play in ISO.
Man,
right?
everybody can play team defense. Everybody
you
look
just
good.
need effort. You just need
that's
effort.
all effort.
Yeah, it was
you
something.
Just defend when the guy's in your area, and then
That calling young bull.
You
and he still got 37 points dropped on him.
turned Super Saiyan.
How did Josh Hart still score 35 points and he was out there in Super Saiyan mode?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, don't do all that fake, the tough guy stuff. Play defense. I don't care about all the faces.
Colin Sexton, he the truth, man.
Yeah, he's good, but that
Young bull.
all those faces and all that intensity don't mean nothing to me.
I heard y'all need some pieces, man.
This is when the guy dropping 37 though. So I don't
Yeah, I was like, dang, you gonna do something. Like, okay, I was like, oh, that first time I heard him talk, I was like, dang, you almost like Nife.
You saw LeBron do the little stance at the tournament.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, LeBron out here at these tournaments, man. Bronny gonna be the truth.
He in dad mode.
Yeah, I want to see Bronny, see how good he's gonna be. He got a lot of attention on him.
I mean, he's actually good. It's not like
That I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like there's like famous players with sons who only get like one video because they're not that good.
Yeah.
If you're getting consistent coverage, you got to be good.
No, yeah, he's
Like Wade's son. Wade's
son is good, but he's not completely different than his father. Like his game is a lot like his dad. He's a better shooter. But
Yeah, he's a better shooter.
Bronny has his own swag, his own style. He doesn't even play like his dad. So
I seen the
I
other
mean-
son. He look like Curry. Like,
LeBron's other son?
Yeah.
And his other son like 10?
yeah, he's young. He's young. He's
Yeah,
like
we gotta wait for
he's
that.
12.
Yeah, that's too early.
I was just like,
Let
okay.
the kid play.
Shoot, they be over here pulling at these middle school and stuff in football.
Football?
So,
Well, I mean, in football, dudes be like 6'7" in middle school, so it's like you gonna offer him.
yeah.
He only gonna get
And he
bigger.
he end up at a small school just because he couldn't play.
yeah, they
It's
said
usually they grades mess up and then they end up at a community college.
they were like, this ain't I know they said like football, like you getting like sixth graders getting scholarship offers and stuff. And I heard like Bronny was getting attention from like big schools. And I was like, what?
But you know how Bronny missed that dunk and LeBron was going crazy because he attempted a dunk in the game. Man, LeBron was dunking at about 12. All the greatest dunkers in the history of the league was dunking in 6th grade.
No, he's not. He's not going to be LeBron.
Yeah, he's not gonna be LeBron.
He's not going
like,
to be that special, but
Yeah,
he
yeah.
has a chance to play in the NBA.
Yeah, to play in the NBA, which is good, which is really
Yeah,
great.
like that's
great.
Yeah. How many people in the world get to play in the
when
NBA?
you see Jordan's sons end up the way they do. To play in the NBA is great.
Do you guys remember that really good, like you guys were saying that some of the these kids that get offered really young
Yeah.
and they end up at like small schools or community colleges. The best story I've seen come out of that was this guy that played at West Virginia.
Oh yeah, I remember him.
What's his name? He was like supposed to be this really big time
Quarterback? Yeah.
prospect, and USC offered him when he was like 12.
Yeah,
He played
Kiffin. Yeah, Kiffin. Was it Kiffin's guy?
Yeah, it was Kiffin. He played receiver last year. I think he led the country in touchdowns.
Oh, it's not.
Man, I can't think of his name. Like, yeah,
Well, he turned out to be good in something.
Yeah, he was. He went to like 4 or 5 different schools trying to play quarterback, and he said, "I'm just gonna play receiver," and he balled out.
That's crazy how the college guys in football be playing for like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
Because they transfer schools so much and eligibility and all that. I remember Ant was trying to get a 6-year at Lafayette at Louisiana.
Yeah, I was hearing about this kid, JT Daniels, USC. He reclassified and he's going to USC this year. I was like, dang, I thought that was just a basketball
You can't
thing.
do that in no football.
Yeah, he going there this year. He
No,
might-
I'm just saying, like, physically, like, you can't.
I don't know.
You know what I'm
Some
saying?
man, these kids are so different than they were
we were in
15
school.
years, even 10 years ago, man. Like I see some of these kids and they look like college players now. And I'm just like, man, you need to be playing over here.
Dudes be having beards,
Yeah.
bro. I'm
Yeah,
like,
it's,
dog, like, where'd you grow that?
But then
picture?
they're also doing this thing where they hold kids back a year in
Yeah,
middle school before they get to high school. So
Oh, okay.
you'll see a kid that's a freshman and he's really supposed to be a sophomore or a
Oh,
junior.
okay,
So,
gotcha.
Yeah, so I read a story on Daniels and it said like his parents kept him back in 8th grade so he can get his muscle mass up. I was like, what?
yeah.
Oh, okay. So he is.
He's
old
really a
enough to-
senior. Yeah.
Okay. So he not reclassifying. Like, I'm thinking you
Yeah,
talking
he
about
took like 10.
a 17-year-old like reclassifying to play college football.
Well, they said like he taking 10 classes last year. I was like,
What does he play? What is he?
quarterback?
He's a quarterback.
Yeah, USC.
I don't know why he's going to USC early. They just got a big time recruit this
You
year.
talking about Southern California?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Isn't it crazy how like when people say USC, everybody assumes South California? It's not that crazy, but it is, like, considering we're in the South.
Yeah.
Like, we never said like South Carolina. People just say South Carolina when they're talking about South Carolina.
Yeah.
Oh,
Side note.
since we talking about South Carolina, I got a hot take from SEC Media Days was this weekend.
Oh yeah,
But
it's a crazy week.
not this weekend, all week.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and call it the first upset of the year. Even though football season, how many weeks away? 6, 5 or 6.
It's not that. I mean,
something
college
like that.
football not that as far.
Yeah, something like that.
I think it's 5 weeks away. I think this makes 5 weeks. But anyway, South Carolina's going to beat Georgia. That second game of the year.
Wow.
I saw one of South Carolina's players like come out and say, basically he was saying that South Carolina has every reason to think they can beat Georgia, and I agree. If you watch last year's game, they should have beaten them last year. They were maybe 2 or 3 plays away from winning last year's game. I don't know what the final score was, but I think South Carolina fumbled the ball like on the 1 or 2 yard line a couple times, and they missed a couple field goals. So that's gonna be upset number 1 since South Carolina. And
Wow.
I don't think that's that bad because, you know,
I mean,
I think Georgia this year is gonna come in kind of big headed.
right,
They
gonna get humbled.
Teams that have a season like Georgia last year, they always come in big headed the next year because they think, oh, Farm's only a sophomore. Oh, snap, we only still juniors. We only still sophomore.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They always think that if we made it this far last year, but it's like, but y'all kind of surprised people making it that far last year.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
y'all, people forget. They just think about the end of the season. So they come in kind of cruising into summer workouts. You get hurt going to fishing,
Yep.
going hunting. We good. We Georgia. Oh, we got the #1 recruiting class again.
Yep.
It's going to be, you got to play the game.
Oh, yep.
So it's like,
Ain't gonna be no rolling no hats out there.
But
and
I
people
have
gonna be
a-
afraid this year.
I have a rant about SEC Media Week.
Okay.
Because it's like that with the Super Bowl now too, where the fans can buy tickets to the Super Bowl is this big thing.
Yeah.
I think putting a whole show around a media event is what is kind of making like media personalities more celebrities. And I think that's what these kids are seeing growing up. And so they see media personalities more as celebrities than
Well,
actual journalists.
oh, reporters.
And it's keeps on declining the quality of journalism. Another thing that I kind of want to say, like, I don't want to throw shots, but I think I'm gonna throw some shots. Shams, right? Shams, he'll go out and he'll report the stuff first. You know, got the great sources, report the stuff first or second. A lot of cases second, or you know, if it's a smaller deal, he'll be first. But if you actually click the actual stories, he ain't talking about nothing. I mean, I know that's the name of the game now. Get the content out and get the clicks over the quality of the journalism.
Yeah.
But he ain't talking about nothing in these stories, man.
Yeah.
It's 2-3 sentences.
So basically,
he signed with the so-and-so.
He hit the lottery and got those great sources. That's
Yeah.
all that happened is he hit the lottery and got great sources early on in his career.
He last season
No
he
disrespect.
averaged 13.1 points,
Oh yeah.
4.9 rebounds on so percent shooting,
Yeah.
and that's it. So I mean, I'm just saying this. I feel like this whole glamorizing media personalities is declining the quality of today's journalism.
Well, I mean, thing about it is, it's just like, you know, only specific people can do it. You know, because other than that, it's just, you know, somebody just can't, you know, they do like, I think so and so gonna sign. But, you know, like a few people can say, I know so and so's gonna sign.
Right.
So it's just like, you know, you gotta be a special person to be able to get that type of information. And I mean, like, people can want to be the next Woj and Shams and stuff, but you know, what you gonna do? Go up, put a camera phone in dude's face, like, hey, where you gonna sign? What are you thinking about? He's like, I don't know.
Oh no, it's just kind of.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's just kind of making it hard for the rest of, like, the normal journalists. Like, there used to be a place for people who don't have great sources and who can't get all the information to have a great career. Like, now it only matters if you got great sources and you can get stuff
break
out
a
real
story.
and you break stories. Like,
Yeah.
there's
Shout
more
out
to
to Chris Haynes.
there's more
He's
to
having a
journalism
great
than
summer,
that.
by the way.
Who is that?
Chris Haynes.
Yeah.
He broke a few stories this summer.
Yeah, he Golden State ESPN
and you know,
reporter.
Okay.
I think he's always been a decent reporter.
Yeah,
That's my guy. Shout out Chris Haynes.
Yeah, he got the R&B profile picture.
Yo, he can dunk. He played in college.
Oh, I ain't know that.
in like 2000, 2001.
Yeah.
I found that out through he did a CJ McCollum, Damian Lillard interview during the season. It's a great interview. It's like, I think 2 hours long or an hour and a half. I watched every single bit of it because it was entertaining. It was good. I think Chris is just having a great year.
Yeah,
So I'll see him in Detroit in a couple weeks. I'll tell him that.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
definitely got to start to hype up some of these guys that don't get a lot of the attention, because like there's a lot of great journalists out here that just don't get the attention. Because I see people on Twitter like going back and forth about who's better, Woj or Shams. I'm just like, there are other reporters out here doing the same thing, and
Yeah.
no one wants to talk about them because they don't break the story first.
And then you got people out here like Mitch Lawrence and Sneaker Report breaking stories before the big guys.
Yeah.
No, but you know what? Who I really support? I mean, who I really just like? They just impress me so much. The people who know the game, like really know the game. Like, I don't know the game. Like, people know the game.
Yeah.
When people break down clips on Twitter and they'll be like, "Oh, he comes up here on the wheel screen and so." I'm like, dude, what the? How do you know that?
Hey,
You never played in the NBA.
that's how you know what the important stories are.
Yeah.
Like like all these glamorous moves that these teams have been making the last couple of years. Like a lot of these guys that really know the game they're like, okay, that's not really a big deal because he ain't gonna play that well for them. Oh, well, how do you know that? He has a big name.
Yeah, it's just
That's journalism, man.
Because the guys who really know the game, like, you know what I'm saying, the low key guys on Twitter and stuff that be breaking down clips like that junk just amazes me. Like, I wanna get to that point where I can understand the game like that, just because, like, I don't know, it's just like I want to understand what you're talking about when you're breaking down stuff like that.
Yeah.
To that level.
It's just consumers, like, you know, who wants to read a 3,000 word story?
You're right.
And you know, attention spans are getting worse than ever. And it's just like, how can you tell a good story and keep someone's attention span? That's
what's wrong with our country.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out, because, you know, there's good story. Like, I had athletic trial, and I downloaded the app, have like a week trial, read some stories, and it's pretty good stuff on there. It's just, but you know, who's gonna read it? You know, because it's just like,
Man,
I'm
I'm tired
of
of making excuses for the people in America. We're not gonna tailor, because you don't want to sit and read with something that you have to be able to survive on planet Earth. We're not gonna tailor stuff to you just because you're too lazy to read something. If anything, we need to write more so they have to read more. And And I'm getting really tired of journalism thinking that, well, nobody's going to read it, so we got to make it really trendy. No. If they don't want to read it, they don't read it. Move on with your day.
I had a great, I think it was 45 minutes, actually, interview with when I interviewed Al Duncan for a story. So, of course, the story's going to be long. It's a 45-minute interview. Yeah. And, she made me laugh about 25 minutes out the 45 minutes. So it's I wrote a long kind of 1,200 plus words thing or whatever. That's still kind of cutting down for a 45-minute interview. Yeah. I feel like I don't write that much. So I turned it in. Oh, next time, make sure you keep it around 600, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, dang.
I'm like, it was a 45-minute interview.
How can you truly tell a story if you got a word limit?
How do you know who this lady is from? If I went 45 minutes about her life story and half that,
you might as well have just posted the video of the interview or posted the sound of the video. Right. That's what I mean. I don't even think. But then people too just sit there and listen.
No, because I think that is something that has changed. People are still listening to the long form stuff. People are still watching the long form stuff. Because I see Joe Budden podcast. Joe Budden podcast is on tour, and they do 2.5 hour episodes.
Now, I will admit, I was working this week, and I just sat. This was the first time I had ever listened to it. I just listened to Joe Budden's podcast.
They funny, ain't they?
Yeah, they funny, and they get addictive quick.
Yeah.
I listened to one, and I messed around and looked up, and I was like, dang, I don't listen to 8 episodes just sitting here working. So I got a lot of work done just sitting there listening to Joe.
The Nasty Awards. Yeah, shout out Joe. And they on tour and all that. They doing the thing.
They doing good things, man. I like what they do.
So I'm saying long form, I think audio and video is still in, because
there's a Breakfast Club. There's a place for that.
Breakfast Club came up since 2013.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? True. And they came up through the YouTube interviews, which were an hour, 30 minutes. So there's a form there's a place for long form audio and video.
Yeah.
We just need a place for a long form print.
Yeah, that's why I wonder.
Or not even necessarily print. Like I said, I'm not making no excuses for nobody to not want to read. That's your fault, and you need to change that, because that's the way the world works. There's no way you're going on this planet where you're not going to have to read something. And that's just the way it is. I'm sorry.
I think the latest long thing I've read, it was probably it might have been last year, or maybe been February, whenever I did the story about the Kaepernick stuff. So that might have been last year. That was the last thing I read. It was New York Times. It was the full complete story on the evolution of Colin Kaepernick. The junk was I don't know how many words it was, but it was long. It broke down his childhood in about a chapter, his college life in a chapter, his professional life in a chapter, and then how he is now out of the league in half a chapter. So that was the last long thing I read, but after reading that, I understood Colin Kaepernick so much more.
Yeah.
Than what I've heard for over, 2 years of hearing this man's name on TV every single day.
Yeah.
I learned more in that one little big old essay.
And when you speak on him, you can speak on him with the depth of understanding of what you're talking about. These people on Twitter will see these clickbaity and trendy little
headline
things,
pictures,
and then they'll come at you and try to act like they know what they're talking about. And I'm just like, did you actually read the story?
No. When the worst thing about the Twitter thing is when people see that headline, the picture, right? And this is a clickbait stuff, and you read the story and it has nothing to do with that, and they quote it and they're like, and they attack the journalist. Oh, this has nothing to First of all, then I'm like, well, how about you click and read the story?
Exactly. I mean, I ran into that, as Hawks people around the Hawks community. How many people did you see tweeting that, oh, Carmelo Anthony is a Hawk? Oh man, we got Carmelo Anthony, and oh my God, and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, did you not see the part where they say he's going to be released?
Yeah, that just made me pull my hair out right there, because it's just I was like, y'all really think he's coming to the Hawks to play?
Why would you want him on the Hawks?
Hey, I want him on the Hawks.
Did you not see him play last year?
Sell the tickets for a year, man. Give me a Melo jersey. You know
man, that's what Trae Young is for. Trae Young is far more exciting and entertaining and has a better future than what Carmelo Anthony has.
But Trae Young is Atlanta bred. Melo, it's like having a McGrady Atlanta jersey. You know what I'm saying? Like
he's
it's
old
just,
and washed up.
It's just something
Send
nice
him back to New
have,
York as far as
you know?
I'm concerned.
We got
nice
Akeem
to
in the
have.
building now.
We
y'all.
got
Can't
Akeem
shout
in the
him
building.
out.
Akeem, man,
Send him
say
back to New
something
York.
to the people. We've been talking about basketball the whole time, man. Throw
All right.
something in about the MLB baseball. Something about the baseball, something different.
Radio or something.
Well, what just about is there to say? Well, Kawhi Leonard. What about that dude?
Ugh.
What about that dude?
We talked about him, and I said,
Talked about him?
and I said that forget that guy.
Forget that guy. But here's the thing that makes me so that I was thinking about all week. Particularly over the last few days and stuff, is come again if you're Toronto making that deal. Come again if you're Toronto. Why would you the thing that I don't get is I hear everybody talking about they're getting somebody who's better than DeMar DeRozan. Well, here's the thing. DeMar DeRozan was not a locker room problem. Who's to say that he's not going to be a locker room problem? Because we all know he's trying to put out all this stuff trying to say, oh, he wants to play in Toronto all of a sudden. That stuff coming from his camp. Like, that stuff I feel like that is clearly coming out of his camp. He clearly wants to be in Los Angeles, and he's clearly trying to basically make his image all the more better because he's pretty much tarnished his image in San Antonio. He's pretty much tarnished his image all over the NBA. So at this point, he's trying to grease his palms and everything, trying to make him more attractive in terms of eventually going out to either LA to play for the LA Lakers or the Clippers, because that's where we know where he wants to be. But why would you do that deal? Especially if you're Toronto, and here's why. Because everybody in the East has to understand LeBron's no longer in the Eastern Conference. Newsflash, he's a Laker now. So why are they using previous records to try and say, oh, DeMar DeRozan couldn't get it done in the playoffs? No, could get it done in the playoffs in the Eastern Conference the last few years against LeBron. So I just don't understand what the whole thing is with Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, the entity that owns the Raptors, and everything that's going on with that. I don't get that one bit. On Carmelo Anthony on that whole note.
Trap money, bitch.
Why would he but the thing is that Carmelo really doesn't care at this point. Because Carmelo, at this point, we know he's all about the money. We know it's clear at this point, he's all about the money.
If he was all about the money, he would have stayed in Atlanta.
No. Atlanta didn't give him a choice.
Yeah,
No, you're not playing for us.
Yeah,
you take this money and you go home.
Yeah, they gave him all his money. Like,
You should go home. No.
Go home,
Go
Melo.
home.
You got the
Go home, Melo.
Got the full 27. That's a first.
I want Melo.
Man, I don't.
Give me Melo.
And you talking?
I want Melo when he was in Denver. I want that Melo.
I want that Melo. You talking to a Melo fan, and I don't even want him to play for my favorite
We ain't
team.
even about to do nothing this year, man.
That's the thing, though.
So?
That's the thing, though. I mean,
You might as well play Melo for a year.
Well, why would you want him to corrupt Trae Young?
Yeah. That's the only thing I was thinking about was him
Yeah.
slowing down the process of processing.
What is it? What is it with Atlanta all of a sudden signing all these stars after they're already washed up? Like it's the same thing with Dwight Howard.
'Cause we were
signed.
retiring.
Thank you.
Presti was trying to save money, and I was just like, it's like, hey, can we work a deal out where somebody can take Melo so we could save some money because they was gonna pay $300
Hawks got cap space.
Yeah, and they took it, saved Presti over $60 million. They would have to pay $300 million for that team if they would have kept Melo.
Does this move make them better? Because I think it gives them maybe 2 extra wins.
You talking about Oklahoma
OKC.
City?
They got the same team as they had last year. And they think
Yeah,
they
I just don't trust. I don't trust George.
I don't trust Paul George, Russell Westbrook, Dennis. Like they literally got the most untrustworthy people in the NBA on one team. I don't trust Billy
crazy.
Donovan in the playoffs.
People were like, Dennis Schroder's an upgraded Reggie Jackson. I was like,
No, he's not.
what, was Reggie Jackson?
What was
the
he
Reggie
good?
Jackson years that really great in OKC?
He was okay.
I mean, but it wasn't like Reggie Jackson was the key to OKC
And they
almost
had-
beating the Golden
wasn't
State
And they
Warriors.
had Kevin
the drink.
Durant at that point.
Yeah.
They don't even have Kevin Durant anymore. So Reggie Jackson's years are irrelevant because what has he done in Detroit?
He wear a suit.
Cool.
What has anybody done in Detroit nowadays?
Well, Blake.
You can't really do all that
Yo,
much.
we about to
Speak
turn
on
up
Blake.
in Detroit. You already know what that is. Shout out NABJ. We about to get it. Let's get it.
Oh, look at you. I'm just waiting till next year when they got in Miami. You want to talk about a party. You want to talk about a party. You want to talk about taking your talents to South Beach?
That's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah.
Just a professional conference in Miami.
Sure.
You're really going to see who really about their business and who about the
People gonna be coming in palm tree shirts
Thank you.
with pina coladas
with flip-flops into the
and
career
flip flops.
So true. So true. I can't wait for that. But yeah, I mean, like you were saying, like I just don't get all these old signings. Like I just don't get, like, if the Hawks are gonna get a superstar, at least get somebody who is at least in their prime.
I mean, Hawks didn't get nobody.
Yeah, the Hawks got Justin Anderson.
Yeah, that's it.
Who?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who?
He played at Virginia last time.
Yeah, he's one of
Where?
He's one of Pierce's guys. Yeah, so I think he probably gets some minutes behind Prince.
Yeah, he'll probably play more than people think he does. I mean, I like his game. He ain't nothing to be excited about though. It's whatever.
Who on the Hawks really is to be excited about other than Trae Young?
I'm excited about Torian Prince and John Collins.
Yeah, see,
Amari Spellman.
Who?
Kevin Herter.
We'll see.
Kevin Hurt. The irony.
We'll have to see about that one.
The irony. Herter and Hurt.
Yeah.
Oh
I
man.
hope he not another Bembry.
I hope. Yeah. Yeah. We've been waiting on Bembry to play for how long now?
I just want to see because I know there's all this hype going on about Trae Young, but I just want to see him at least play just one NBA season before we start building a statue of him outside of Phillips. Like, can he just get one full, like we want to build a statue of this dude based on what he did in Summer League. Okay? We want to build a statue of this dude based on what he did in Summer League, okay? Can we at least get him and the entire team up against actual real NBA competition before we start building statues of him outside of Phillips?
No. I'm just playing.
I've seen stuff in Trae Young that I haven't seen from a Hawk. Like,
Yeah, I like that.
In Summer League.
I like his passing.
I mean,
know how I
I
am.
mean, his entire aura of, like, just, star quality, like, can't be described. Like, you can be a very good player but not be a star.
Yeah.
Like, you're just born with it. You either have it or you don't.
And-
And like, he has it.
And you know how I am about just
Yeah.
anointing people, but
He's soft.
that he
No,
is,
that was Blake Griffin.
he is soft. But that summer league game when he didn't bring them back. They came back for 27.
And he closed the deal.
Then he closed
No,
the deal.
no.
That was
When he ran up to Dorsey and took the ball
yeah.
and said, "I'm taking the last shot."
That's why I was like, yeah, this guy got something that we haven't had. You know what I mean?
Yeah, everybody else be looking at Coach. What we do?
Yeah, like he ain't afraid of the moment, and that's one thing that I didn't really see from him in Oklahoma. Hopefully, that kind of that little spark we saw turns into something big. But I mean, I kind of want to see him in the regular season. But like Rashad said, that quality is something that you don't.
Yeah, you can't teach.
You can't teach that because there's a lot of great players in the NBA that just don't have that, and they will never have that. Joe Johnson was one of those. He had all the skill set you needed. He just didn't have that spark of, oh, I'm a star. I know I need the ball when the moment gets big. That's something you born with, and that's I kind of saw it out of him. So
You think maybe Trae Young can put up numbers enough to where he could potentially be a Rookie of the Year candidate?
No.
Didn't think so.
Play in Atlanta.
he's not gonna be rookie of the year.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters where he plays.
It's just I think
He's gonna get the media national attention.
yeah, he's gonna get attention, but I just think that at this point DeAndre Ayton is a better player.
Oh yeah.
If he plays like reasonably
Kevin
a
Knox
reason,
might get
it. Yeah, I was
reasonable
thinking Knox.
amount of games, he'll average a double almost. Kevin Knox is another
You're
one.
thinking about like a guy like Donovan Mitchell who had a great summer league. He wasn't the first pick. He wasn't in the top 5. That's kind of like what Kevin Knox was.
Yeah, Kevin Knox is my dog.
I mean,
And you got
Donovan Mitchell was.
And you got the New York hype machine behind him too.
yeah.
And no
That New
Porzingis
York
this
hype
year.
machine can turn against you real quick, though.
He'll average 15 points, and they'll be like, he's the best young player in the game.
Yeah.
And then he has a few.
And then we have Porzingis,
Yeah,
the
KP's
second
out,
best
so-
young player in the
And then
game.
he'll have a few off
Yeah.
games sometime mid in the season, and all the papers will want to kick him out of New York.
Chicago's gonna be trash, man.
Yeah, I know.
They're gonna be trash with bringing back Zach LaVine. What is this obsession with Zach LaVine, the potential of Zach LaVine? People just obsess over this man's potential, man.
I'm just tripping out about that defense. I'm like, you got Parker at the 3, LaVine.
The two.
And then
Wendell Carter showed he can block shots. So when they let everybody by, he'll just block it.
But that's the craziest part. Lauri Markkanen is one of the best young players and no one's talking about him.
Yeah.
He's about as good as Porzingis.
Yep.
From what I've seen.
If not better. He's just not as tall and he's not as.
And he
box
doesn't play in New
office.
York. I don't know.
Thank you. You play in New York.
Lauri Markkanen can play.
This is why I've been saying all along, that's where Anthony Davis needs to be. Anthony Davis needs to be in a big city. If he was in New York or LA instead of playing in New Orleans, superstar.
He's a
He's already a superstar.
He's a
Just an
superstar,
eyebrow.
but people never like put him in that. Oh man, this guy's like a generational type player type. Like we've never seen anything like Anthony Davis. I don't care how much people would try to say, "Oh, this guy's close." No. There's never been an Anthony Davis before this.
Yeah, he's a great player, but it's just hard to recognize him when your games aren't on TV outside of Louisiana.
Yeah, and he has to make the playoffs.
They always play on ESPN against Golden State.
Always, against
That's
Golden
their
State.
4
But the
game
draw
league.
is Golden
They
State.
stay on, like, for some reason, the Golden State at New Orleans is always on national.
But
TV.
how come we
I don't
can't
know
get
why.
like a Pelicans-Hawks game on TNT?
Because the Hawks.
Well, the
Hawks can't get
Hawks
can't get on TNT in their own backyard.
Hawks about to get a bunch of. They about to get a bunch of games this year, though.
I doubt it.
I'll say at least. I'm gonna say at least 5.
Well,
And
two.
they got 0 last year.
Man,
Yeah, I'll give them 2 just because
like
they got Trae Young.
I'll say
MLK
they
game.
They
man.
get
Oh.
5. Bro, they had the MLK game in New York last year.
Yeah, I think they probably
That was ridiculous.
Have it this year in Atlanta.
What MLK got to do with New York?
MLK. You talking about the Hawks?
Yeah, they played in New York last year for
No,
MLK
they
Day.
played San Antonio at home this year.
Are you sure that one 2 years ago?
No, New York was 2 years ago.
Oh,
They played San Antonio this year.
Dang, time flying. You right, because I said that like around the time of the Olympics.
Because they beat them, and Dennis balled out that game, and I remember him coming off the court, and it was all exciting because they had to come back to win that game.
Oh yeah, and then Pop was here.
Yeah,
MLK Day.
Yeah, Philly and Boston.
What happened in that game? I don't.
The Hawks won. The Hawks won. I remember that.
Okay,
It was a good game.
I don't remember the Hawks season last year.
No.
Philly
Who
gonna have
remembers
some-
Who remembers the Hawk season? Who really remembers?
I remember Cap G performed.
Hopefully,
Remember 21 Savages.
21 Savage. Hey,
I remember.
that was a good game.
I do remember
the Hawks beat them by like 50.
the Phoenix game
Yeah.
when Dennis drove in the hole and everybody was just.
Did they
It's like-
have like a 3 overtime game this year?
No.
They usually have at least one of those.
I know they did. What was that? 2 years ago.
Yeah.
With
Hardaway.
the Knicks.
Yeah.
And then Eric swears till this day that was the best game he's ever saw.
Of course
No,
he does.
of course. No, of course.
And it was like Derrick
of course he
Rose
does.
was on the team.
Yeah.
Shout out Eric.
Yeah.
Hey, before we go though,
Yeah.
can we talk about the MLB All-Star?
Yeah, definitely.
we got time.
Yeah, a little
We got
bit.
a little bit
we
of time.
could squeeze in a couple.
We squeezed a couple sentences about it. I just wanted to say, you know how I was talking about attention span and all that. Baseball is a sport that's suffering from that. But the All-Star game was awful. I don't know if anyone knows that it was awful.
I
because-
didn't watch it.
Because
I didn't
everybody
watch
saw the home runs and they were really, oh my God, baseball is back. No. That wasn't baseball.
The home run derby was amazing.
The home run derby was fun because
The home run derby
You
was
say
a
small
mess.
ball derby.
When I see Bryce Harper do over the head bat flip,
I'm
I've never
sorry.
seen that junk.
I'm
And then-
sorry. I
and then he
can't
went
wait.
over
Home
the
run
derby.
derby.
Reaction
The
video
der-
to me watching the derby highlights. Y'all check it out on my channel.
The Derby is canceled, if you ask me. The Home Run Derby is canceled as far as I'm concerned. Just cancel the whole thing. Because what I don't like about what they've been doing with the Home Run Derby is that they've been doing this timed format as of late. And my thing is that
It makes it faster. It was
Well,
fun. It was
that's
fun.
the problem, though. It butchers people's swings even more. Because the issue with the Derby is that, okay, it was already having a problem with messing up people's swings. Now it's messing up people's swings even more. That's why you can't get Stanton in the Derby. That's why you can't get Aaron Judge in the Derby. Like, the biggest star that was in the Derby was Bryce Harper, and it was in Washington. So, of course, he's going to participate.
I don't know, Bright. I mean,
Other than that, you had a couple of Cubs there.
Stanton and Judge had already done with, like, they had already proved themselves.
And
They won it.
they had a great derby last year.
Yeah.
Derby
and
is the
then
slam dunk contest.
Stanton won
It's
2
better.
years ago, and then Judge won last year. So, I mean, they didn't really need to be in it again.
But it used to be one of those things where you used to have these guys like, I'm going to go ahead and say it. Baseball is not going to admit it, but it misses the PED era
now
because
that's
absolutely.
That's true.
Everybody admits that. Everybody admits that. But it's just like, I don't know. I really like the I was about to say dunk contest. I really like the Derby this year.
Yeah, I love
No.
that was the best Derby I've seen in a while.
No, last year was really good. Last year, Stanton versus Judge.
I didn't watch that.
Oh, that was really good too.
No.
Last year in Miami.
But the game was horrible. There was like, if there wasn't an out being completed, it was a home run.
But
this is
I
the best
mean,
part.
I wasn't watching
but
the
that's
game.
what people asked for, because they were like, stop making the game count. Stop making the game count. They stopped making the game count and use hitting home runs like the PED era.
Yeah.
So I mean, I didn't watch the game. I was following it, social media and radio. They said like a Dodgers Astro sequence went on. I was just
Yeah, the Astros hit back-to-back home runs off of like a Dodgers pitcher.
Springer hit a home run, then Bregman hit the game-winning home run off of Ross Stripling.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention. I didn't pay a single lick of attention. I was more busy, of course. Shad, did you see the 53-point game with Liz Cambage?
No, I reacted to that too. Check that out on the YouTube channel.
53 points.
53 points. It was crazy.
And
It's
then
crazy.
35 the following day against
so she
Washington.
had 88 points in 2 games.
88 points in 2 games. Yeah, I was more into
Shout out
that more
Liz
so than
Cambage.
the
I
Derby.
want to shout out before we sign off Chene Awumake for freaking becoming a WNBA starter after missing last season. And
Facts.
That the next morning she's on SportsCenter because she's got to do her job as the ESPN NBA analyst.
And what's interesting is also that with the WNBA All-Star Game coming up in Minneapolis, that they're doing what the NBA did this year, where they're having drafted teams. It's a Team Deladon and Team Candace Parker, and both of
CP3.
Umake sisters are going to be on the same team.
Yeah, on
so
CP3
that'll be
team.
interesting.
I got CP3 on that.
Yeah.
We're trying to get Lexi Brown on the show.
Shout out Lexi.
Yeah, everybody at Lexi Brown and try to get her on the show.
Right.
All right, that's it. That's it for me.
Pretty much. Once again, another episode in the books. A-League, all that good stuff. So as always, let's all get on up out of here, shall we?
This is David Norwood. My Twitter's at DNorwood90.
Jeremy Johnson. Twitter's Clark_Kent_75.
You, RashadMillan.com. You can follow me on Twitter at Please Lexi.
Please, Lexi.
Please, Lexi. Please. Akeem Balaam, Twitter, Graham Beyond the W. Check it out. Twin Cities, here I come.
Yeah. West, jump down, check. West, live checked.